if you're down here and you see a bony hand, but you know you put away the Halloween stuff last week, okay, don't go and look at it, but you gotta look at it. Because if someone goes missing and then they find out that you had their bony hand in your basement, there's going to be a lot of accuse aid, okay, about you and your involvement. Okay, even though you profess a lack of involvement, they'll be like, well, when you found the bony hand, what did you do? And you say, I went quietly back upstairs. But no, sometimes you have to take that not opportunity like it's a positive, like smell the roses. I'm just saying that it's a window has opened for some energy to be put in, and for you to take aggressively the bull by the horns and horn it up with the bony hand. What you're doing is you are saying, I am taking control of what's happening in my space as much as I can. Because you see, you can't really control. There's what can you control? But you can, I suppose, control your reaction to it. And what you are doing is you are investigating ASAP when you see a dismembered bony hand in your basement sticking out from behind the furnace. What it is it's okay. It's the space in between the furnace. There's a set of shelves, and then some old paneling from, I guess that's the floor that the previous owner put there because as a kind of little treasure for me. To put hey, I'm going to leave a treasure. No, what it is, you were too lazy to go put it in the garbage, most likely. Then what is that? Oh, I think we ripped those shelves down and left all that really heavy fiberboard. No, plywood. That's what I'm saying. What is that? Is that a baby crib? What other kind of crib is there? So, if you see the bony hand in your basement, call the cops, okay? Like, do you want it to be 911? It's not an emergency. Call the non-emergency line and say, hey, nonchalantly, not that it's an emergency or anything, but there's a dismembered bony hand in my home, and I'd like to report it missing. I mean, not that it's my bony hand and it's gone. I would like to report that it's likely missing from someone else. And so then the police and they're going to put you for questioning because they're going to be like, oh, how did the bony hand get in your house? I'd be like, I don't know. Always been here. Like, maybe it was always here. Like, don't you clean your house and go to all four corners of your house and clean it? So, well, obviously I don't. So, I don't know. But they're always going to believe it's you somehow because the number one suspect is always the one that called the cops first. Okay. But it's like the time I found that house. I mean, they were for sure like, are you sure you weren't smoking in bed? Not 1974. Not having to smoke in bed. A smoke in bed? Oh, come on. And a guy like you must have had someone. You could tell me. And then they're like your friend, right? So then the dog, the Bob sniffing dog, is cute, but you don't pet it because it's a working dog, okay? It's not a toy. And it's a working officer. And it's doing its job sniffing around your nuts, trying to find out whether you started a fire or not. I don't know why the information would be around my testicular area, but I'm not going to tell a professional crime fighter how to do their job. So, but they were like, and then they could try and be your friend, right? So then it's, oh, come on, you could tell me though. I'm not going to tell anyone. Well, that last part is implied slash untrue. So they imply that they're not going to tell anyone, but of course they're going to tell someone because that's their entire purpose, is to be there and find out what happened. But sometimes they get tired and they don't want to stand in your home anymore, so they just want to put a bow on it. They want to take a big fat ribbon and tie it around your box and give it and then stick your finger in the middle so you keep your ribbon tight and get someone else to tighten the bow. Now, if you're a professional Christmas gift wrapper, you don't need that extra person, but I'm not, okay? And I still have too much paper at the both ends, and so when I fold in and then up the flap, the excess paper from on the other side of the flap comes in, so you can see these little pieces of white that you can see the back of the wrapper paper, and nothing says unprofessional like the white piece that you can see at the end of a package of wrapping paper wrapped package. Wrapping paper wrapped package. Okay? And the guy doesn't want to stand there anymore. He just doesn't. He wants to go home and write his paperwork because paperwork is a lot of work. Okay? There's paper and it takes work to fill out. Hence, paperwork. Okay? So he's like, come on, you didn't start the fire with your million cigarettes? And I'm like, no, I don't smoke. Oh, come on, man. You gotta smoke. I'm like, no, I don't gotta smoke. I don't smoke. I don't have enough money to buy cigarettes. What are you talking about? This is when I didn't have any money at all. Like, I was, like, stealing quarters just to get on the bus. And, well, okay, don't say that to him, because then he'll be like, oh, steal a quarter, burn down a house. And then so, no, okay? So, no, I didn't. There was nobody there. He's like, oh, come on. A guy like you, a handsome guy like you didn't have company over last night? I was like, no, look at me, man. I'm a goddamn mess. Do you think anyone wants anything to do with me at all? No. I mean, sure, I'm conventionally attractive, but as soon as I open my mouth, people realize, I see. Okay, that's why okay. So anyway, and then they start slowly backing away as if they've seen a ghost. So there's probably some kind of spirit behind me. And someone did say that once in my psychic reading, that I was started to amass some dark energy, some darkness, and then that's easy. You just do the pentagram up, down, side, bottom, across to the bottom, and cast it out. Okay. You don't want to start accumulating dark energy. Makes you feel special, okay? But that's what it's preying on your want to feel special. But know that we are special. You are special. I am special. The thing is, we're all equally special. Except the dog. The bomb sniffing dog is more special than me. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So yeah, eventually they got tired, but man, oh man, they really did not believe me that I was not smoking in bed. I wasn't. It was my clock radio. The mattress got butted up too much against the plug-in of the plug that had the clock radio in it, and the plug kind of levered open the socket. Spark came out, lit my mattress on fire. And then I didn't know. I was downstairs on Facebook. I was going to have a date that night. And so I think I was even saying I'm looking forward to our Saturday date. And then I heard thumping, and I thought the cats were jumping around off the shelves, like hopping around, like hop little Boney, hop, 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 hop little Boney, hop, 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 hop and stop. So I was like, well, what are those? But those cats, it's getting louder and louder. So then I go into the living room and go look up the stairs, and it's a split level. So it's like you look up the stair, you go up the stairs, and then there's a little like a landing, and then you go the opposite way up more stairs to the second floor. But I got up to the landing, and that's as far as I could go because everything else was smoke. And then I thought, well, okay, I'll not tell one lie leads to another, tell two lies, cover up the other, tell three lies, oh brother. I know, not stop, drop, and roll. What am I trying to think of? When you're going crawl underneath the smoke. So I was like, oh no, I still thought in my mind though that there was cats. So I was like, okay, there's these jumping cats. But it wasn't jumping cats, it was literally pieces of the framing of the house falling, and hunks of house falling as they were burned through falling onto the floor. And so it was you couldn't see anything. It was all smoke, but I thought there was cats in there, and I had to go rescue these cats. So I tried to crawl under the smoke, but you couldn't crawl under the smoke because there wasn't enough room between the smoke and the floor. The smoke had already reached the floor. So I was crawling through. I tried crawling under the smoke, but there was no smoke to crawl under. It was already smoking in my face, and I almost got asphyxiated. So then I was like, "Oh, that's not going to work." And it was hot smoke too. It was hot smoke. It wasn't like when you're sitting in a campfire and you say, "I hate white rabbits," and it's just kind of annoying and it makes your eyes tear up. It was like hot, thick, acrid smoke. There were no cats up there. The cats had fucked off long ago because they're smart and they know how to take care of themselves. Fortunately, one of those cats went missing later, never came back, but that had nothing to do with the fire. At least I'm pretty sure it didn't. What the hell is that thing? A moth? Well, get away from me. I'm not interested in what you have to say. Go about your business, moth. I thought it was a wasp for a second. It had a big ass on it. So then I call 911, and I'm like, well, there's a fire. And I start crying because I'm like, oh, there's two cats in the house, and I can't find them. And they're like, well, okay, well, where are you calling from, though? I'm like, inside the house. They're like, you're inside the house, man? Get out of the house, dude. I was like, okay. And then I look around. Is there anything I could? No, I can't really pack anything. My room's on the second floor, already completely engulfed in flames and smoke. So I'm like, well, I'm in my long underwear, so at least that's not bad. And I guess the fire department showed up. And the cats all came back. So no cats were lost in the making of that story. Then me and the fire chief found the insurance papers and started the claim, and I phoned up Sean and I said, hey, so I set your house on fire. And he was in Germany, so he said, jawohl. You did what? And he came home right away. But he didn't really have to because the fire didn't burn a hole in the roof. It destroyed the interior of the second floor. But the structure of the home was intact. Man, no, that wasn't a good day. I think I had my first day of work the next day, catering for an oil company. So, don't smoke in bed. And if you're listening to this and you're that investigator that was trying to get me to admit that I smoked in bed, ha, that was me trying to take an element from the beginning of the story and wrap it around the end to give it a sense of structure. It's not an admission of me smoking. I don't smoke, okay? And no, there was no one over that night. I was by myself. Got to talk about the hand. So you call the non-disclosure line, you call the non-distress line, you call the non-emergency line, and you say you found a bony, dismembered hand. Okay, in your basement, and immediately they're suspicious, and they will say, okay, well, why didn't you call 911? And you're like, well, I didn't want to tie up the phone lines with matters of life and death that weren't matters of life and death because someone else might need that call to call someone else. I mean, someone with the life-threatening situation might need to call, so you can put them on hold and figure out what to do. So they're like, well, we don't appreciate that. Like, what don't you appreciate? Saying that you're just going to call 911 so we can put you on hold. And I was trying to be facetious, okay? I guess I was trying to be facetious. Okay, so pardon me, okay? And I'm sorry, but I've got this hand, I got this bony hand. Do you want it or do you not want it? Because I don't want it. I'm just going to throw it in the garbage. if you don't want it. But don't you want to CSI it and Gus Grissom takes his off and go, what? Don't you want it like that? This might be a cold case. Have you ever thought of that? And of course we thought that. That's why it's a skeleton now, because the body's gone cold, because now it's a skeleton. Bones don't stay hot. There's no apparatus or mechanism for a bone to stay hot. It's like, well, actually, these bones are hot because it's next to the furnace hot water tank. And they're like, which one is it, the furnace or the hot water tank? I'm like, the furnace. And they're like, well, how come you said hot water tank? You say, I don't know, I was nervous. And they're like, why are you nervous? Did you kill a person? Okay, trigger warning, I guess we're talking about murder. So, they're like, no, I found this bony hand. Okay? I'm trying to call you so that you accept the hand and that it's out of my life. Okay? And they're like, well, you're our number one suspect. I can't lie to you. You're our number one suspect now because you're so sketchy. I was like, look, I don't do well with authorities, okay? And they're like, why not? Do you hate cops? I was like, no, I don't hate cops. I'm telling you, make me nervous because I... Like, no, I didn't do anything, okay? Waited until there was and the bones are picked clean. They're like white bones. They're white, warm bones. And those little worms and beetles that live in my house, like they ate up those bones. I'm looking at them right now, and they ate them up real nice, like so that there's not a speck of meat on them, and they're pearly white. Okay, so they're immaculate. It's an immaculate hand. I'm looking at it right now. And they're like, you're looking at it right now. Did you touch it? No. What's your address, they say. And then they're over. And they're like, you sure you didn't kill this person and have their dismembered hand turn into a bone? I don't even know how long it takes for a hand to turn into a skeleton hand. Does anyone know that? Does anyone know how long it takes for a hand to turn into a skeleton hand? Okay? Now there's all these bone jokes I've got in my head. I can't. And they're like, what's so funny about this? You got to make bone jokes. Like, you got a boner. That's the extent of the jokes. So, okay, I wouldn't really call them jokes. I'm more of an observer. And I observe that all I can see is boner right now. So here it is. Here you go. I'm not even going to touch it, okay? So take tongs, okay, and pick it up and... The dog is a pro. The dog would be like, but it doesn't chew the bones. It's a pro. That dog was the most professional cop I ever saw. And my dad was a cop, so he's a turtle cop. I guess the moral of the story is don't overthink it when you're calling the cops to report a bone. Don't overthink it. Because, you're going to overthink it, and they're like, why are you thinking so hard? Did you have something to do with this? You're like, no, but we've been through that already. So then eventually they get tired of talking in circles, and they'll go away with their bony hand. You gave them a hand.